Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? I'm Gabs, developer advocate here at Meteor Software, and today we are bringing a live coding session, especially to you that is here with us right now. I'd like to say hi that everyone's in the chat. I already saw that Rodrigo commented here before the live started. Rodrigo Zerman, how are you doing, man? Joaquin Diaz as well. He said hello to Rodrigo. And who else is here with us? Say hi. Say where are you watching us from? And it's been a while that we haven't done our last live coding session here on YouTube, so we are happy to start doing it again. And today we're going to build a real-time chat using Meteor.js 3, the latest version, with React, TypeScript, Tailwind, and MongoDB. And hi to P5, P85V from Sweden. And let's bring here Leo that's going to help me up with this live coding. How are you, Leo?
Hi, I'm good. Hello, everyone. Thank you. Thanks for watching.
So Leo is the leader of the open source team at Meteor Software. He's a longtime Meteor user, and he's gonna be the one leading the coding today. So lots of people here again saying hi. Let's see. Rodrigo is from Brazil. Hey, Rodrigo. Lios, how are you doing, man? Hello from Iceland. Yeah, Lios has been here with us since last week. He was, I think, in every day of the Renaissance event. Thank you so much for being here again, Leos. And yeah, so Leo, can you talk a bit more on what we are doing today? What did you plan for this live coding session?
Yeah, we're going to set up the project basically and get the basic functionality going without authentication and things like that. Just the foundation for what will become perhaps a more complex app in the future, and we can make more episodes as well. And so it's
Yeah.
our testing ground. Yeah.
Okay, so let's align expectations with you here that are with us. So we have an hour to build this app. Of course, that in an hour we are not going to be able to build like this super complex with a beautiful interface real-time chat app, but we're going to build what we can in this time, and maybe we'll break something in the process of doing that because we haven't done this before. We haven't rehearsed this. I'm sorry. So the idea is to build in public, break stuff, and maybe get some help with you depending on how this goes. And of course, if you have questions, if you have comments, if you want to know everything from Leo, this is the time to ask. This is the time to ask in the chat. And yeah, let's read a few more comments before we start. So Joaquin is saying that he's from Spain, but looking football semifinals also cool. And Dios, thank you guys for all the stream. I find it extremely valuable. Oh, thank you so much, Dios, for that great feedback. So let's go. Let's go,
Yeah.
Leo.
Yeah.
Leo.
Oh, yeah.
In
Whatever.
Portuguese, we say Leo.
Yeah. Uh,
So yeah,
uh, Let me share my screen. Uh, 30 screen.
for the record, we are doing really from scratch. Leo doesn't have Meteor installed on his machine, and he's going to do this right now. Yes, we are taking risks here on this live, so
Yeah.
let's do it.
So just let me adjust the font size, perhaps. I think 24 is better here.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, okay, so I don't have. I ran a command called rm the dash rf dot meteor to remove the installation completely. So if you
I
ever
think
have to do this in the future, or for whatever reason you want to reinstall Meteor, that's how you do it.
I think you
Then,
can increase the font a little bit more, Leo.
yeah, okay, uh, 32. What about now?
Yeah, I think that's better. But if you in the chat think that's small, we can make it bigger too. Okay, but go on, Leo. Sorry.
Okay, so I basically did this and it removed the Meteor folder. So I reset the installation completely. So what we can do now is run npx already left this prepared. This is the latest version we have right now. It's a beta version for O2, which
Okay.
will be releasing in the next weeks. So it has the latest changes we have. It's a way to help validate as well our release. So we can simply install. If you are going to install the main version, you can just omit everything after that. It would be npx Meteor, and it would install the main version. So
So
this is
we are
installing.
installing beta 4, which is the current latest version that we have, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. This is a great
So
way to
yeah,
test a lot of stuff as well.
yeah. Uh, so yeah, I've prepared a template for this, so we don't waste too much time. But
Okay.
mainly we'll have like Meteor 3, React, Tailwind, and TypeScript.
Okay.
So we can play around with these technologies and make it look a little bit nicer as well, not a bare bones foundation.
Okay.
So we can uh, just clone this repository, and
Okay.
I'll see the repositories, Meteor demos. Yeah, git clone uh, live.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Okay,
we
great.
can WebStorm live. Let's open the
WebStorm,
project.
for those who don't know, is like the alternative for Visual Studio Code by JetBrains, right?
Yeah, and by the way, uh, V3 docs, uh, quick start. So everything that I said, you can read it in the docs for Meteor 3.
Okay.
Uh, and here it shows you how to set up the project, install basically. Uh, where is we have a tutorial? We have some commands. You can simply run Meteor create and then the release you want, basically. And also you can add a dash dash React if you want a project for React uh, or leave the default. I think
Or
this is the
Vue.
default. There is one for Vue as well, I think.
Hmm.
So,
Okay.
and also you can specify the release you want. So this is
Okay.
basically how to set up a project.
Okay.
But what we did is just do that with an extra configurations for Tailwind and TypeScript, basically.
Really cool.
So, so here we have WebStorm,
Okay.
and sure,
Is there a way of making it bigger somehow?
sure. Here, okay, 150. Yeah, does it look okay?
Let me see here. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. Yeah. Or maybe more. Maybe we should use 200.
Okay.
It's going to be huge to you, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll probably get lost at the
Yeah.
end. Okay. Uh, So okay, we have the bare bones project. We can run Meteor npm install to install all the packages.
Okay, so this command will install all the dependencies that this project needs right now. Okay, based on the config
Wait a
files, right?
second. Just let me check something here. Oh, we have the beta 0 here. Yeah, I need to update this later, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, we can do this basically. So yeah,
Okay, so it's going to download all the dependencies, right? Okay.
yeah. So here we installed all the packages, npm packages basically. And
Okay.
for us to run it, we just call meteor run, and it will
Okay.
uh, perhaps do some migrations in the packages right now because we changed the release version.
Mm-hmm.
So it was 0, now it's 4. But other than that, it should be very straightforward.
Mm-hmm. Let's hope it doesn't break anything.
Yeah.
I think that you can also increase a bit the font size there later
For
on the
what? The terminal?
for the code. No, for the terminal, I guess it's okay. For the code later when you're going to
Okay. Uh,
it likes it will
Tolerance.
look like my dad is using the computer. My dad
Yeah.
uses like a huge font in his computer and his cell phone. uh, who does have a dad like that? Maybe in the chat here with us, a dad or a mom that uses huge fonts, huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm adding some zoom here. So
Okay.
here we have like the base project. You have like the Meteor docs here. This, if you download this template, this is the home screen. So if you click here, there's this small uh, code, dynamic code here that increases the counter. That's
Okay.
basically it.
Okay.
So we can start coding now,
Let's do it.
and we can create a collection. We have one here. Wow, this is really big for me. So we don't
What?
have ES linked yet, but we can
Okay.
add it in the future.
Oh, we
But
don't have anything, right?
sorry?
We don't have basically anything. We are starting from
Yeah,
scratch.
yeah, we don't have. Yeah,
We're
this is
cowboys.
just the seed of the project. So
Yeah.
uh, we can basically rename this. So my idea here for the foundation of the app is to have a text input at the bottom, a
Mm-hmm.
history at the top. That's basically what I have in mind for the foundation. So
Mm-hmm.
we need to think about the data layer first.
Mm-hmm.
So we have this links collection, which is added uh, by the template to populate the links. So even these links here, they are dynamically created in the
Mm-hmm.
collection.
They are
So
in the MongoDB collection, right? Okay.
yeah, yeah. So we can get rid of this, and we can rename this publish to chat.
Okay.
This we can remove this as well,
Okay.
and this we can rename to messages.
Messages.ts. Okay.
We can also rename. We could just have refactor here as we are using TypeScript, probably to have named the file as well. So
Hmm.
messages collection.
So we are replacing that old collection that was just a template and creating the real one, right?
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
here we don't need both of these. This is the TypeScript annotation that we can add. I wasn't aware we had this, but I discovered that this takes effect. So the types dot meteor, the types slash meteor uh, has been updated recently, I think. So we can do something like this and have the the model of the data with TypeScript beforehand. And here we can just rename or yeah, miss messages. Okay. So here we have the UI, right? So
Right.
we'll need to call a method from the front end to add a message.
Mm.
So I'll create another folder here. Methods. Oops. Accidents already happening.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. Okay. So create a chat. Yes. One thing that one pattern that I notice is we have this index file, and we can just import the chat here.
Okay.
Yeah, and on the server we can import. Uh, where is it? Okay, I think it needs. We can also do this import methods. Like by default, I think it doesn't. The ID might complain about this root syntax here,
Mm-hmm.
but you can go to tsconfig and add something like this. I never done this before. Not sure what are the total implications of this, but let's see if it
Let's
works.
see.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're
So
creating this file inside methods is where you place the methods that will be handled when something happens in the front end.
yes.
Okay.
So here I'll basically create Meteor methods, and here we can specify. Uh, well, ChatGPT is already
Hmm.
auto-completing for us.
Mm,
I think I'll keep only the first one.
okay.
We
So
don't
is
need
that
this for now.
that
But
suggestions is by ChatGPT you're using?
uh, Copilot, which
Ah,
is
Copilot.
probably
Okay. Okay.
powered by.
I was confused. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so here, the only thing different is here content, and I think we are good to go.
So it's basically a
Uh,
method to insert the
insert,
messages.
yeah,
Okay.
we need to do it async as well. So,
Okay.
and I think you can do something like this. Yeah. So yeah, this
Okay.
is this is probably going to work.
Hope
So
so.
now we can go to the UI and we can see that the publication is already broken. I can even perhaps see in the console. There is nothing broken in the console. Okay.
No,
So okay. So here we can remove this info.
we're not gonna use it. Okay.
Yeah. And hello, we don't need as well. So we can start coding. Uh,
Okay. So it's basically empty now, right?
yeah,
Nothing.
yeah.
Okay.
We don't even need this. So
Yes.
we can create two divs. Sorry, uh, divs, div one and div two.
Okay.
Here we'll have the history later, and here we'll have an input or text area. Text area, I think, it's a little bit big, so I get I mistype and I don't read it well. Anyways,
Fine.
so on key down, I think it's on key down that we can use. There are many input events that we can. So here we have an autocomplete as well.
Right.
It's already somewhat useful. And
Yeah.
control key, we don't need this here.
Okay. So the
Uh,
person hits enter.
yeah, we could do something like this and not a shift key. Then you can kind of add line breaks and things like
Oh,
that.
okay.
Let's see
That's cool. Yeah.
how it goes. So we can log the e target value. I'm not sure why it's not populating, but let's try this and see if it's there. So the UI has been refreshed. We have this here.
Beautiful.
Uh, Beautiful. It's just a box in the
Beautiful.
middle of nowhere.
And that's it for
So
today. That's it for
and
today. Sorry, I was going to.
yeah, so you can see that I typed something and it logged into the console. So the UI part is working. What I can do now is turn this into a flex call. Uh, and yeah, and here vh what is the, I don't remember now. H viewport W
So
full, I think, or VH.
I never remember properly class names.
I don't remember. Does
Yes, it's
anyone in
okay.
chat remember what is the Tailwind directive to make the viewport height?
Viewport height.
Anyways,
Let me see.
Yeah, so let's see Tailwind. We can just search here, like viewport height. Ooh, something like this. It's H screen. H screen. Yeah, H screen. That's what we want. H screen, and we can perhaps we can leave it like this. But anyways, soon it will begin to take effect here. Like you can see that the div is already has the full height of the viewport. So if we increase here, it is locked in place.
Mm-hmm.
So here we can class name flex grow. I think
Okay.
it should do something. Yeah, it has grown. So here on the text area, we can class name. I'll just add some border and border slate 500 and round it. Just some basic styling just to make it look
Okay.
look
So
good.
we can see anything. Okay.
Yeah, and here on the text area we can last name W full border none RAM is 0 and whatever just to make it yeah. So just checking here if we have any perhaps H full as well. We can do a hack here and set this as relative and absolute, and perhaps it will. Yeah. No, I broke it. Crap. We need to
Breaking
have
things.
the H48 or something like that. No, it's
Oh,
too big. 24. Yeah. So yeah, now we have something here we can start using.
okay. It's logging.
And
Yeah.
one other, uh, well, I guess I'll leave it for later. Now we can call the method basically. So we can call Meteor call async. Let's just check
Chat.insert.
chat.insert.
So Copilot's already helping you.
Yeah, and I'm not paying attention. I guess it's too big for me to see. So yeah. So we can do something like this, and here just to double check, we can just log a message there and be sure it's. So one other thing that I noticed is that we are not importing it on this client side, but I'll fix that
What?
later.
The
The
collection.
method,
Oh, okay.
because the method can be isomorphic. So I probably should import it in the client somewhere as well, so it uses optimistic UI. But we don't need that for now. Let's
Okay.
focus on this content string. Okay, so let's do this, and yes, it inserted
Yeah.
the data.
Pretty good one
So we
though.
can send hi.
Okay.
So yeah, and it's there.
Yeah. Great.
So now we need to publish that data. So uh, we have this. It's already published actually. So just to be more explicit here, you can omit this if you want. But we are publishing all messages in this collection. So
Okay,
now we have. Go ahead.
and by publishing, what do you mean?
So where Meteor really shines is in real-time propagation of changes, basically reactivity. So what we
Mhm.
are doing here is publishing a collection or a subset of that collection. You can opt to publish all documents or just a part of the collection through a specific query.
Mhm.
And once the client subscribes, it will basically keep listening to changes in that publication. So your UI will reflect the data as it's updated in the database.
Just by
And we
publishing it.
do,
Okay.
yeah, just by publishing it.
Okay.
So this is, if you kind of study a little bit with the code that goes behind this is almost like magic because there is a ton of things that need to go on for this real time system
Mhm.
to take place. So
Yeah.
to name a few things, uplog, change strings, merge blocks, and things like that. Those are all related to this strategy. Right now, we
Mhm.
are not using change strings, but that's something we want to use in the future. But that's there are many things that go on behind the scenes.
Mhm.
Two-way communication through WebSockets, for example, is also one big piece of this.
Okay. So it looks like magic, but it's not. It's just hard
Yeah,
work,
yeah,
like very well done, right?
yeah. Uh, you could perhaps create an analogy for this. Like there is a whole skyscraper uh, built underground for this to work, basically. So yeah,
Mike just had a comment here saying that adding change strings would be helpful for LTS.
yeah, yeah. We have plans to start working on change strings in the next weeks after we finish some work related to the patches that we need to do. Uh, uh, a quick question: are you referring to Meteor 2, like the or Meteor 3 official by LTS? What do you mean? Did he apply?
Not yet, but we can keep going.
Yeah.
For Meteor 3 going forward, he means.
Okay. Yes, we will be working that on the next weeks, and that's what we have in mind is to create a package or something and migrate towards it seamlessly as an official way to do things as well. So that's what's going to happen. Uh, so
Okay.
yeah, we have the publish, and we just need to subscribe. And for that, there is a package called React Meteor Data here. I am using one that's on npm,
Okay.
but let's see, it's not loading. There's this one. Anyways, so perhaps the guide has a
What are you looking for? Sorry.
React Meteor Data. There is a package that you can use to integrate Meteor with
Mm.
your front end framework, basically.
Mm.
So the package is not. Let me try atmosphere.
Cool.
Uh, okay, React Meteor Data. So just to show where people can find it. So
Okay.
perhaps we have some hooks here. Let me increase this zoom. I'm not sure why the.
Fred is saying
So
that it's already included in the template skeleton.
yes, yes, it's already included. But just
Ah, okay.
I'll pointing this out. Like you have basically three main hooks that you can use. Use
Mm.
subscribe and use tracker, basically.
Ah, okay. Okay.
So what we will start using is use subscribe, basically. So I think it's like this. Let me just. And by the way, I am using this one that I added via npm. It should be exactly the same. And I think it's chat. That's basically it. We have some errors here.
Not defining value.
Yeah, we can ignore those as if we add some types later. But now, I think it should work now.
Let's see. Let's
So
hope it.
yeah, the thing about importing, I did not import it in the client. So we have this here. Import models. We can add something like this here. Messages. And now we can import. Let's see, it did not, but it's models. Okay. Yeah. So now the warning that Meteor DevTools gives is gone.
Okay.
And we can see, let me see if I can zoom this. I can't zoom this. I'm sorry. But hopefully you can see it now. But now after we have subscribed,
Our AI friend is he's our code assistant here.
oh yes, yes, it's missing, but it's kind of happening asynchronously, so we don't need to worry. But we can do something like this
Okay.
if you want to have this occur, this method be called before anything else that happens here. Like you can do some logic here, for example, and it will be like act in a sync way. But you can also do this if you want. It will just occur in parallel. Let's see.
Okay.
That's something you can do. So
Sandaman is asking what AI tool are you using? I think it's the ones that it's just suggesting you code. It's GitHub Copilot, right?
yeah, it's you can go to plugins and you can see
Copilot.
GitHub Copilot. Yeah, it's
Okay.
here.
And Astor is asking if this sort of a live coding mentorship. Not kind of mentorship, Astor. We are actually trying to build stuff from scratch while we learn some things and break some of them. But Lewis is the expert here, and he's not going to break anything because he knows everything about Meteor. I'm joking. He's breaking
Yeah,
things. We all do.
yeah. There are things I don't remember. I think no one keeps everything in their minds all the
Yeah,
time. But,
no.
so
They
yeah,
don't have to as well.
yeah. That's why there is AI as well. Autocomplete speaks for us. But yeah, so you can see here that the publication is working. So Meteor uses a DDP protocol to kind of communicate bidirectionally with the client and propagate changes from the server to the client and call methods, for example. So you can see that those are all logged here. And these are just happening many times because we are refreshing the application, things like that. But you can also filter here, remove the methods, and I can reload the extension and then refresh. I can clean all the messages, and you can see that the subscription is ready. And we can filter the collection and remove those. You can see that we received many added messages from DDP, and those include the data that we have in our collection. So that's how Meteor populates the mini-Mongo collection, which we can access through Meteor DevTools Evolved, and we can inspect what is in that collection before we even see it in the UI. So now what we need to do is show those messages here in the UI. So for that to happen, we can just use uh, messages, use tracker, I hope that's going to work. I'm not entirely sure, but
Yes, it will.
I'll try to use you can use the sync API, but that's the perfect opportunity to try this. But let's see. Messages find use tracker. Okay, let's console log this just so we can debug if it's working before we make anything. Yeah.
We have a
So yes.
we have a
Go
question
ahead.
here from Peach. He's asking, who's the person that maintains this React Meteor data? Is he on the team? I don't think so.
I think we do. We can.
Really?
Let me search where is the repository. Perhaps this has a link somewhere. This is a fork. Fred, are you on the call or on the live stream? We have these React
Fred
packages.
is saying he doesn't know who maintains, that it's pretty
Yeah,
old. Yeah, I think
yeah.
we can.
I think we do. Like it's in these React packages. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you open this, you see that it's in the Meteor organization, and we have this repository here with with 3 other packages here. And we have a recent commit for 3.0.1 from the Newsom, I think. So it is maintained.
Yeah.
Rest assured that it's maintained.
The one from Atmosphere is maintained by us, just like Fred said
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And Felipe said that it was mostly Kevin, but I don't think he's using Meteor yet on his daily job. Okay, thank you guys. So let's go back
Oh,
because
yeah.
yeah.
Yes, as you can see here, the data is there. One thing
Okay.
that I want to try is to do this async uh,
Okay.
and see patch async and see if it works. It's updated, and yeah, it returns a promise. Yeah, that's something that we need to take a look. But I'll just revert to the sync version. In the UI, we can use the sync version because everything is sync anyways. So now we can show the messages here. We don't need this
Okay.
index because each one will have an ID. Yeah. I always get confused where this ends and starts.
Who doesn't?
Let's see, what's it complain about? Okay, so return, it's auto completed and it should work. Yeah, it does. So hi was the
Yay.
last. Yeah, so there is one. Oh yeah, let's see if the real time is working. So hi Chu, and you can see that I call the method and it as the method is already added to the client, it used, you can see that it ran in the client as well. So this is optimistic UI going on.
Mm,
So it
mm,
will update mini Mongo as well as update Mongo behind the scenes in the backend.
Pretty cool.
And
Pretty cool.
then if the data changes or differs, it autocorrects after
Mm,
the changes are made, but the user will experience things instantly, basically.
mm. Yeah.
So
And Philip is asking here why, if there's a reason why you're using use tracker instead of use find.
I don't know, by preference. I never use find. I think
Mm,
that's all the only reason. I think it's
mm,
something relatively new. 2 years, 1 year, I don't know. But we can use find. Just need to check the syntax.
mm.
Use find.
But they do the same thing.
Yeah, I think use
Mm,
find would be more optimized in certain situations where you have a list, perhaps. Uh, There's use tracker. May use find. It's probably to. Yeah, it should be very easy here.
Yeah, he said that use find is implemented using use tracker and shows a bunch of quirks.
Yeah, because also normally I like to have multiple collections going.
Hmm.
So the use tracker allows you to kind of return an object and then destructure it as well. Sometimes that's
Hmm.
simpler for me as well.
I
But
see.
yeah, so
I see.
here messages and just let me try one other thing here. Uh, would this work? So DUI, yeah,
Does it?
yeah. Now it knows what properties we can expect here.
Hmm.
You can see we just this is all TypeScript inference, by the way. It's not a real schema, but we could put add something like Zod to do this for us, and it would be add runtime safety as well. So
Hmm.
yeah, uh, I didn't know this existed before I created the template. So the only complaint we have
Really?
here is for the event target, but we can take care of that later. But yeah, how much time do you still have?
We have 90 minutes.
Okay, we can proceed further with this. Like we
Okay.
can get this more. One thing that is bothering me is that it's not raising the, the input. So
Hmm.
after it is called, we can just do this. Like uh, Copilot
Let's see.
just
Check complete it for you.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that.
Okay.
And
So
also uh,
So
go
for
ahead.
those here right now, the interface is not as a real chat, we could say, right? But if you see the functionality is what we expect from a chat. He's typing messages in the bottom, and the messages are stacking up from the top to the bottom as a chat would be. So, as I said, we're not doing authentication here right now, so it's just a single user doing that. But it's the rudimentary version of a chat app that we can maybe improve later.
Yeah. There is still some things we need to do regarding the layout of this history, and that's where we can kind of one of the last things that we can do in this live stream, I think, is
Mhm.
that we can send lots of messages, and you can see that the scroll is already broken, and also there's empty messages. So I just brute forced things, and you see that the input is already hidden. So one thing that we can do is to the uh, overflow auto for the y direction, and also I think we can. I'm not sure now. I think it's here. Like sort, yes, sort created at -1, something like that. So you can see
Mm.
that we have a scroll, but the order is inverted.
Yeah, it's weird.
I think we can do like sorry, it's this one. We can do something like this. Let's grow. I need flex as well and gap for perhaps. Yeah. So this does two things. The chat will be always at the latest message. The
Okay.
scroll will always start there. You can see I'm refreshing the page. I'm clicking here, and the history is bound to the bottom. So to see the first message is scroll up. It's the reverse. So in the future, you can add pagination and things like that. And as you scroll, more messages are loaded and things like that. But in a normal chat, you would want to see your latest messages first, right? So
Makes
go
sense.
here. There you go. And also we can do some other validations to here if content just throw Meteor or uh, content is required or something like that.
Okay.
I think it's new. Yeah.
So we have a few questions in the chat. I'm gonna read them in a while, folks. Keep sending them. We'll read them in a few minutes.
Okay. So you can see that I'm trying to send an empty message and it's not letting me because I added some validation. There are some validation libraries that you can use out there. You can use the schemas, and there are many strategies that you can use. And we can build this in the next episodes. But right now, no, you can still send a single character, but not an empty message. And that's also working in the client as it's isomorphic.
Hmm. Okay.
So yeah, we can make some layout adjustments here. Like have this P2 and then B2. That's not needed because we have gap for could be gap y for yeah. Now it's more uniform and this here py4 just so it gets some continuity here.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Still don't look like a, a real chat app, but people that are here are aware of that. That was not intention, at
Yeah,
least
yeah,
today.
yeah.
At least not
We'll
today.
get
But
there. We'll get there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
This is going to
Uh,
be some kind iterative. We don't know where we are heading. It could
yeah,
end up
we
being
don't.
a chat app. It could be using AI. It could grow into something else. It's just for fun and testing and sharing knowledge, basically.
Yeah. And we have a questions here from KC that was with us last week during the event. Thank you one more time for being here, man. And he's asking a question in a few parts. So, how to optimize reading the messages to make in memory, actually, fixed number, I guess, fixed number of messages instead of unlimited messages when somebody's writing or when I will scroll up back to older messages. Not sure if I got his question. Did
You
you?
mean pagination, like adding a limit?
How to optimize reading the messages to make in memory fixed number. Okay, so probably he's asking like instead of reading all the messages, read only a fixed number. The last, I don't know, 30 messages instead of all the messages.
Yeah. What you can do is like you have like a chat ID. This if you have multiple chats, of course, in your application, but you also add a limit, and then you sort uh, by date, and then you add a limit for 48 messages or something like that, and
Hmm.
then you can either expand that limit if you feel safe in your publication, or you can convert this into a method or something like that and load the data progressively. But yeah, via subscription, it would be a little bit more complicated. If you
Hmm.
wanted to, perhaps you could do some windowing logic, not just pagination. You would basically unload a range as you scroll up and things like
Hmm.
that. So if you have, like, say, 10,000 messages, you are positioned at the 6,000 uh, uh, layer. There you can hide everything above it and everything below it, only having about 48 documents published or something like that.
Mm, makes sense. And Mike is saying here that he built a chat app with Meteor. Can confirm it was the best framework to build with. Cool, Mike. Thank you so much for your feedback. There's another here from Vlad. Is it here again? Hey Vlad, how are you doing, man? And another one here from KC asking if is it possible somehow to make performance tests with hundreds of users together in this chat. I get his guess he's saying like simulating lots of people using the chat, right?
Yeah, we could do something like this in the future. Like we could add a live stream and do a performance test live. We could use
Mm-hmm.
artillery or something like that. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
we are working on some performance infrastructure for Meteor itself. We can gather some of the knowledge there and apply this here too. It would be a fun. It would be an episode of its own, but it would be a
Mm-hmm.
fun one to do.
Mm-hmm. Um, Sam is asking how to choose between Mango, MongoDB or Postgres. Does it depend on what I'm sorry, Sam. I laughed and I read Mango, but it's Mongo, of course. And yeah, what's your answer to this, Fred? Fred.
Yeah,
Leo. Sorry, Fred. Fred was in the chat. I read a message from Fred.
sure. Yeah, it depends on what you want. MongoDB and Postgres are follow two different philosophies basically. One is a schema based on the database itself, so you have to maintain the schema there. And on MongoDB is more like document based, where you can update it and things like that. The schema will be in your application. Some people prefer the other, other people prefer the other. So it's more like on that side. And also, I wouldn't say technologically, I think both are equivalent. Both have transactions and things like that. I can't go much into those details as I'm not an expert, but you need to do that decision by yourself. What are the strengths that you are looking for in your technology?
Mm,
Do you want to do something fast? If you want to iterate quickly and deliver products fast, I would say go with Mongo because you can make something real quick, really simple. You don't need to worry about the schemas in the beginning. You can, I don't know, it's simpler and it's more in
mhm,
line. It's something that's already built into some frameworks like Meteor. So Meteor already delivers it to you uh, inside the box.
mhm.
Postgres is a little bit more. Uh, how can I say it? It follows a different philosophy. You need to
Yeah.
understand the strengths and weaknesses of both.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And we have another question here. This one is from Lios. I think this might not be in the scope of the app you're building, but can you maybe demonstrate how to share the same data on client across multiple components? And of course, I mean reactive data coming from Mongo, keeping the reactivity across the whole app. Not sure if you have time to actually demonstrate this, but you understand what
Yeah.
he.
Can you go to the previous comment just so I'm sure? They must share the same data on client across multiple components. Yeah, you can do that basically by calling this hook here anywhere. Assume if you have like this the root component subscribed, if you have a subscription at least somewhere above the component tree, you can use this anywhere and it
Yeah,
will work. The data
it's
will
a,
be
it's
in
a,
Minimongo.
it's already available in every component,
Yeah,
right? Oh, Felipe just said here in the client, the data is published in Minibongo. It's already
yeah,
available for all
yeah.
components. Yeah.
Now, if you were worried about memory, things like that, and you really want to share it across many other components, you can go a separate route, and you can use context. You can use this React singleton hook. There's this hook here, React singleton hook. Uh, But this is only in extreme scenario if you want to share spare memory or things like that. This is a pattern that I like to use sometimes when I have a global state or things like that. And you can have this hook uh, be persistent across multiple components. So the logic going inside it is like it's really in the name. It's a segundo. You don't need to. It's not reinstantiated for every component it's used for.
Fred is suggesting
Yeah,
that perhaps we could show Minimongo using Meteor DevTools.
yeah. So here we have 5 tabs. We have this performance. It shows the collections and the methods and things like that. So uh, it's a quite useful if you have extreme things. You have subscriptions, you have Minimongo, bookmarks, DDP, and the one Fred is mentioning is this one. So here, for every subscription, uh, data will be added to Minimongo, basically. Unless there is no documents in the publication. But here they all be listed. If you had multiple collections, the sidebar here would have more items, basically. And this is all public data. So this is important for you to understand. If you are seeing data here in these DevTools, uh, third parties will also be able to access that data. So if you have multi-tenants, for example, and you have data from other tenants, you have data that the person doesn't have permission to see is visible here, you have a security issue. So you need to be careful with that as well. Some people commented on the extension page that this allows you to see things that you shouldn't be allowed to see. No, your app should not publish data that the user should not see. That's basically it. It only sees the data that the user can see. So that's a care that you need to have. And
Okay.
that's basically it. Here you can inspect and you can even copy the document. It'll copy the JSON and you can inspect it somewhere else and things like that. Uh,
Pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah, man, we are out of time. And the idea today here was to do an experiment because we have, I mean, at least you and me, we have never done a live stream together. We wanted to go to see how we will go, if people would like it. But we have a good amount of people with us here right now, talking and sharing and teaching us some stuff as well. And it's being, I don't know, at least for me, it was interesting. Maybe we could keep going next week and add more features to this. Maybe we could like evolve the product as we discuss the features in our forums because I opened a discussion there about this and maybe we can uh, turn
Yeah.
this into another project. Who knows?
Yeah. What would you like is there a tool that you'd like the community, the Meteor community to have? Let's leave
Yeah.
your suggestions. Yeah.
Yeah. So Casey, before we go, Casey has one last question. He's asking, is it possible somehow to subscribe same collection 2 times into browser Minimongo with another name?
Yeah, you can have multiple publications for the same collection. The data will be merged, basically. There will be some order, perhaps, in perhaps there will be some unification of documents and fields and things like that. But that's
Mhm.
possible. It's possible.
Okay. So next week again, Lau, one more time.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So thank you so much, everyone that is here with us right now. We are going to continue this conversation in our Discord server and also in our forums. If you have any ideas on how we could evolve this app, what we could do there, or any other things that we could do, feel free to suggest. And thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe and everything else. And yeah, Leo is saying his beautiful bye and have a great week, everyone. Bye.